Nathan, what up, brother? See me when I switched into my white shirt yesterday once I showered. And my stories rocking the gear. Thank you, sir. Thank you, thank you. Billy Guns, my longtime bro. What's up, man? Happy New Year. Good to see you. Keith, what's up, bro? Good to see you. Good to see you. So I finished season 7 of Dexter last night. Damn. Great ending to season 7. Only one more season to go, and then I'm out of Dexter. Enjoying it. Hell yeah, Nathan, you're the man. Thank you, bro. I owe you something. We'll figure it out. You gotta let me know. Chuck E. Cheese, what's going on? What's going on, man? Good to see you on here. Welcome, welcome. Tuesday, chest day, so I've been dealing with this elbow. It's getting better, thankfully. Those Mark Bell elbow wraps helped quite a bit. I took them off on Saturday for triceps. I wanted to see how it would feel without them, and my elbow is getting better, but it still is hurting, so I put them back on today for chest. William McGilney, aka Billy Guns, as I know him, says, what are your thoughts on cardio before bed? I do it because it fits my current schedule best. Well, listen, you just went into what I was gonna say. So there's optimal ways to do things because science says it's the best way as far as results. And then there's the reality of what fits in your life, right? So for me, the way I do this, guys, a lot of people would tell you not to do what I'm currently doing, right? I get up fasted, go to the gym, train fasted, and then I come back here to cardio fasted. But I eat a lot of calories that night. I load myself up, I feel good, I'm ready to go, and I feel very good fasted. Now, when I was training, what I typically did, the meathead schedule, I was a bodybuilder, I was living the life, so I freaking designed it where I could get up, do fasted cardio, come home, eat a big breakfast, fucking, excuse my language, sorry, sit on the couch, watch SportsCenter, answer some emails, eat another big ass meal, you know, and then I'd go into the gym in the afternoon, loaded up with food, and train hard, and then maybe I'd do a little cardio post-workout, but there were times when I actually did have to do cardio before bed, and for fat burning purposes, I think it's fine. And if it's all that you can get in with your schedule, I also think it's fine. I know a lot of guys that do that. So things change based on your schedule. Listen, I have seen bodybuilders that competed around Ramadan where they had to fast all day and do their shit at night. You know what I mean? So you structure to your schedule. I think if that's the way your schedule is, then it's fine. Oh, Nathan, I would love to do that, buddy. Dustin Lee, what up, Bolshoi? I lift barbell plates. I eat T-bone steaks. I'm sweeter than German chocolate cake. How much more of me can you take? Wow, fire. Fire, Bolshoi. Let's see, Jay-Z, can I get a what, or Little John, get low. Get low, get low, get low, get low. To the window, to the walls. Honestly, I'm not even saying this for the sake of this cardio Q&A. If my wife were here, she would back you up. I sing Little John, mostly skeet, 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 pretty much every single day around the house. That's one of my around the house songs. So Little John, get low for the win. Luke, good morning, man. Good to see you. In the Mouth of Madness, 1994, or Night Flyer, Stephen King. Love my Stephen King. Love my Stephen King. Gotta go Stephen King. I read almost every Stephen King book in prison. I had quite a few of them. close to all of them. A lot of people don't even know that Stephen King wrote Shawshank Redemption and Green Mile. He's not all horror. Melanie, good morning, my lady. Always nice to have a lady in the cardio Q&A like yourself. Good morning, good morning. Luke says, I saw Little John in Vegas. That's awesome. That's great. I would love to go to see Little John. That's funny as hell. I'm sure it was a funny time. Did you know that sauna makes your hernia even worse in a back? No, I didn't know that. The sauna seems to make me feeling better, but explain, give me more information, sir. It's a shame he's so woke on his Twitter. Oh, dude, Stephen King is very woke. You can just tell by his stories that he's gonna be super, super woke. And listen, I still love his books. I love his books. I really enjoyed, like the Mr. Mercedes series was great. Very good stories, the trilogy. I like his older stuff. You know, but you could tell reading his books that, you know, there's always like some unassuming black character that is a hero in some way. And there's usually some white, rednecky, even though the stories are up in Maine, most of them, they're like these rednecky, you know, racist kind of people. So yeah, Stephen King, very woke. Still love his books though. Still love his books. Badabuko, what was your favorite muscle magazine back in the days? I liked Muscular Development because they had the gear articles, you know, they were the first to really do that. Brianna Rogers, another lady in the Q&A. I love having my ladies in the Q&A. Good morning, my lady. Let's see, after Dexter, check out Dexter New Blood. Yes, I will do that next. I will do that next. I hope that Elon does buy CNN, Bolshoi, because CNN is trash. And I think that would be very entertaining to see what they do over there if that happens. Maximum Overdrive was a fun movie. Old school, you're right. Who from woke celebrities you'd like to turn more Republican? De Niro, maybe. He got way too woke for me. God, there's so many. There's so many woke celebrities, but it's disappointing when you see some of the guys that you really enjoy be so woke. I think De Niro, though, that was a big one for me. Been seeing people start using AMP, citrate, and pre-workouts. Thoughts on it? If you don't care about potentially ending up in prison, it's strong. It's great. I love me some AMP citrate. Yes, I do. We had an AMP citrate product back in the day in my other company, Prime Nutrition, and that was one of my favorite pre-workouts. But AMP citrate will definitely get you sent to jail. Absolutely. I ain't going nowhere near no AMP citrate. Hell no. No more prison for me. If you remember the old school red lines in the can, those were the little metal red lines. Those were AMP citrate. I loved AMP citrate. Bolshoi Kush, Green Inferno, 2013, directed by Joubert himself. You must admit, though, Bolshoi Kush, that Joubert does some really good work. Or Cannibal Holocaust, 1980. I will tell you this. I did not see Cannibal Holocaust, so I can't speak on it. On the flip side, I watched Green Inferno so many times that my ex was like, stop watching this movie, please. I couldn't get enough Green Inferno. I loved Green Inferno. That was on a heavy rotation. I was falling asleep to Green Inferno. It says a lot about me, I guess. Christine is good. The book is very, very good. Did I see the Musk's TV? No, tell me about it. The Rock is woke, but it's different. The Rock is different. The Rock is all about finessing. He's all about finessing the crowds. I don't know how deep his beliefs really go. Um, do I find anxious, impulsive people annoying? No, because I was anxious and impulsive for a little while. In fact, I feel like I can understand them. They can be frustrating, I get it. But I have good experience in that department. De Niro, Pacino, Richard Gere all had kids. I know, they're still cranking them out. Listen, if you're that rich, you can spread your seed and not worry about being a dad, because there's millions there's millions there for them. Most of us regular guys, we want to try to at least raise our children, right? LL Cool J, Headsprung, or MOP, Annie Up. Wow. Woo. It's hard to go against LL, but Annie Up is the one I'm going with there. That was a good one. That still gets me fired up. It's hard to go. It's hard to go against LL Cool J, though. Did somebody die from Red Line? I don't know. There's always, listen, a couple people died from ephedrine back in the day, which was a great ingredient. I loved ephedrine. And that was the first, big pre-workout shutdown, which was a shame. A shame. Bolshoi says, Green Inferno increases my appetite during the off-season. Good. Whatever it takes. Oh, yes, Luke. Red lines were the shit back in the day. But Amcitrate's on the ban list. So, listen, small companies, when they want to make a name for themselves, and listen, when we first started, I'll be fully transparent on here, I didn't give a shit in the beginning. I was like, I want to put out the strongest stuff there is. But you start to learn as you go along, wait a minute. Hold on a second. There's more hidden rules that aren't right out there in the open. So, it's kind of like, all the research peptides that are legal for research purposes only. It's a very slippery slope. So now that I've been through what I've been through, I went to prison for selling an ingredient that was not illegal, was not banned, but was chemically similar to some of the things that were on the ban list. That was good enough for them to throw me in prison. I'm not going with anything close to the ban list when I'm allowed to come back. No way. Jodeci, Freaking You, or D'Angelo, Untitled. How does it feel? The better physique goes to D'Angelo over Casey, JoJo, any other guys over there. But the song, Jodeci, definitely. Cannibal Holocaust is worse than the Green Inferno? Oh my God, I've never seen it. I do like the movie The Warriors from '79. That's a classic old movie. The Rock is funny because he's really good friends with one of my celeb friends, and the person is the most least woke person I know for a celebrity that is. Listen, I think The Rock is just good at finessing the crowds. I can't say that I've ever met him. I haven't. I met his mom, actually. Very nice lady. Very, very nice lady. And I met his sister, also very, very nice. They were very kind. I met them 2 different times, actually, with my ex-wife. And they were very, very nice, kind. Nothing but love over there. Bolshoi Kush, Cannibal Holocaust, the first Cannibal movie that was directed by an Italian director after the movie was released. He was put in prison. Why? Oh my gosh, Luke. We finally got the sound right. Thank you, man. I put it up last night. It seemed to sound good. Melanie, you're hitting it right on the head. Listen, he knows how to play the crowds. He's a smooth operator like that. For sure. You're right, Chuck E. Cheese. Good point. The Rock learned to know his role and shut his mouth after his last endorsement and Hawaii relief debacle with Oprah. You're right. You're right. Scatman says Annie Up will beat most verses. I'm with you on that one. That song still gets me fired up. Thoughts on upper lower split, hitting every body part twice per week versus bro split? I've done everything over the years, guys. I've done everything. And if it's not everything, close to everything. I've tried it all. Powerlifting, high intensity training, Mike Menser style. Super, super volume, Bulgarian power training, combinations of both. Personally, I think that on gear, where you're recovering at an accelerated rate, you can do very well hitting every body part twice a week. Now, off of gear, I think that it's just a better idea to hit it hard, let it rest, at least 5 days, if not a full week rest. So even though I'm on HRT and I have other, great supplements that I take, I have all my Blackstone stuff and whatnot, I have certain body parts that I hit very slightly a second time during the week, but I prefer just one hard day and then letting it rest. And honestly, that's how almost all of the good bodybuilders over the years train. That it really is. Some of them could get away with doing more, but if you're not on if you're not on drugs, if you're not on gear, you better cut your volume way down if you're doing that. A new TV with AI control, interesting. What does the AI control do? Thanksgiving 2023 or Violent Night 2022. I really liked Thanksgiving, Bolshoi Kush. I thought it was surprisingly good. No matter how much money one has, it's ridiculous having a kid when you're almost 80. Well, never going to be around for your kid, but to each their own. Hey, listen, that's how I feel, right? Hey, but God bless these guys, you know what I mean? It's got to be something crazy to have sperm still swimming like that after that long. An American Werewolf in London or Bad Moon, 1996. Man, I don't love the American Werewolf movies, personally. It's okay. It's okay. The chick's good looking, Bolshoi. So I'll go American Werewolf there. Did you see what The Rock did with Maui with Oprah begging for? Yes, we hit that. I'm a little late, I see here in the comments. Bruce, what up? What up? So Elon Musk unveiled Tesla's Optimus robots, promising future assistance with tasks like house care and child supervision. Price between 20 and 30 grand. Not bad. If it works that good, a living maid, huh? Would you consider doing Italian protein line with cannoli, Korean rainbow cookie, and tiramisu protein flavors? If when I get back into operation, finances are good, I will certainly indulge with doing a little, as the white folks say, Neapolitan split for show. I would be interested in doing a variety of different things like that, sure. Bolshoi Kush, he was put in prison because actors in a movie disappeared. Many thought that the cannibal scene in the movie world. Get out of here. Wow, that's crazy. Kai Green will turn 50 this year. You think his fans have zero thoughts he'll come back to stage? He is not coming back to stage. They'll probably still talk about it. Can I talk with Aaron's ex-wife, Daryl Gaines? I suppose I could, but I don't. I don't think I couldn't, she's not involved in the case, but, I wish her well wherever she is. Were you ever on the receiving end of a Genova Order 66? Yes, I was. And it was terrible, guys. When I got Order 66, I was so mad at Jason. I'm like, bro, why did you let this happen? You have to call it off. This was before I had my blue check verification. on Instagram. And what they did, they made so many accounts. They made fake PJ accounts. They were pretty much all gay, very gay. And then they started spamming all my athletes and shit. It was rough. It was rough. So that's actually part of how I got my page verified back in the day. You know, I was going through this whole process, like, look, there's like 88 fake pages. They're sending anti-Semitic comments to people. It was nuts. We had to go through, report them all, to get them all taken down. It was a mess. WWE just had their first Raw on Netflix last night. Heard Undertaker was there backstage. Not sure if The Rock made an appearance. I usually just watch. So I didn't watch it, but I have seen the updates on Netflix that they were doing that. Does anybody have any info on that? They want to comment? You know what, Luke? I say try it fasted, man. If you're used to doing your fasted workouts in the morning, go for it. Listen, I'll tell you guys, back when I was training hard, I used to eat pretty close to all of my workouts except legs. I liked to have no food in my stomach for at least 2 hours. Before I trained legs really hard, I just felt way better. Ryan, I'm going to look forward today. Yesterday I was very, very busy yesterday. Bolshoi says, did you know that Jimmy Pilecki's ex-wife, Rita, was a stripper? His friends told him not to get married. Instead, Momo asked permission from his mother, and she gave a blessing. Listen, you don't do it. You don't settle down with the strippers, guys. Come on, that's like the oldest rule in the book. You know who else did that? Bolshoi Kush. Made a terrible mistake. Rich Gaspari. The transition scene from the first American Werewolf was gnarly when I first watched it. And yes, it was. It was. You're right. Nowadays, I will tell you, I said it already. The best werewolves I've seen nowadays, the futuristic stuff, I don't like all the AI stuff, but the new, there was a period when the CGI started, right? And the stuff was really cheesy. Now, if you fast forward to now, recently I saw the movie Werewolves with Frank Grillo, and I'll tell you, they did a damn good job. Those werewolf transformation scenes were very damn good. Very damn good. Mancini, how much do these TVs go for? The Skin I Live in 2011, Buried. Buried is a good one, Bolshoi. I know it's a classic. I'm not saying it's not a classic. American Werewolf in London is not a classic. It is definitely a classic. I just don't love the movie. I don't love the movie. Possibly because I've seen it too many times, and sometimes some of these movies that I've seen too many times, like Silver Bullet, when I was a kid, watched that one a lot. Get 'em Rebel Airplane. I just don't enjoy them as much anymore. I played them out. Wow, Mancini, okay. American Ninja 1985 or The Marine 2006. Was The Marine the John Cena? Wasn't that a John Cena movie? Do you think Starbucks ruined the concept of coffee? No. I was always a Dunkin' Donuts guy, and I think Dunkin' Donuts is still doing it well when it comes with coffee. Starbucks, I think, sold a whole vibe and a whole culture. When Kai Green turns 50 this year, how many Grateful will he demolish? Oh my Lord. It's tough to be in that position where one thing becomes your claim to fame in many ways. I never plowed a grapefruit myself. I feel like the acid would be like I don't know. I wouldn't want to deal with the acidic part of it. Next, Too Close or Diana King, Shy Guy. Even when we're grinding, I get so excited. Ooh, how I like it. Try, but I can't fight it. Too Close for show. Was prison the scariest place you have ever been? No. The scariest place that I've ever been was Sloan Kettering Hospital. I don't like hospitals. That was a really rough time in my life. I dated a girl from the Bronx for about 5 years, and her dad was dying of leukemia, and he did his last days there at Sloan Kettering. And I was going there every day for a period of a couple weeks. And just seeing all those sick people with cancer, I saw a little girl lost her battle with cancer, and it was heartbreaking. And that really affected me for a while. I stopped believing in God. It was a crazy time. It was a very hard time. I remember coming home every day and just sitting in this chair, just staring at the wall for hours. This was in my mid-20s. So honestly, the nurses that do that stuff, they are such strong, amazing people to be able to do that. I couldn't do it. I couldn't be around death like that all the time. To me, that's scary. So prison sucked, but it wasn't scary like that. Prison is more degrading than anything and dehumanizing. Having to get naked and strip search and have another man tell you to bend over and cough, and you just feel so humiliated. But, you know, like in the detention center, you're locked in a cell all day. You're locked in a cell 23 hours a day. So you're not really scared. No one can get you. And then at the camp, once I got to the camp's not bad. The camp is like being in the military, you know? Now, I'm sure being in these high security or you know, medium and high security yards where there's killers and stuff, I'm sure that's got to be scary. But, you know, fortunately, no violence, white collar crime, they don't stick you in places like that. But it was very dehumanizing to be treated like a piece of shit like that, for sure. Mancini misses the old wrestling. Mark Dog, good morning. Why do you think lighting in modern movies suck these days? It's so fucking dark, I can barely see shit. Yeah, I don't like the dark feel to the movies. That being said, I want to hear what you guys think of this. The topic of this discussion now is lighting. You piqued my interest with something, Bolshoi. So, Bolshoi says he doesn't like the lighting in the movies. How about the lighting that they use at bodybuilding shows now? It's terrible. Is it the lighting? Is it the advanced cameras? All of these contest videos that come out, right? Everyone looks terrible. Even the guys that look amazing, they look terrible compared to the way everybody looked in the 90s because the lighting and cameras were set up so different. I'm curious what you guys think. Everybody waits for these Gilco production videos to come out. And honestly, everyone looks like shit. Even the guys that are amazing, they all look watery and weird, and it's too bright. So I'm curious of what you guys think about that. Chuck E. Cheese says the trolls are relentless. I know it. Koth Cornelia said, I was the troll master when I first DM'd, but honestly, I'm just in for Met collecting. All that toxic shit. I agree. Listen, Chuck E. Cheese, I've had this conversation with a lot of the different ments over the years, you know. I had this conversation with Adam McLeod, a few different guys. There's a group of guys, you know, whatever, maybe it's 1,000 guys that are really, really bad, that ruined it for everybody else. the majority of the people around all that were in for the same reasons, and it was a lot of fun, and it was funny. The guys that were trolling me were really, really funny. And then you just got some bad guys in there. And it changed it around quite a bit. What is my favorite Rocky movie? Easy, Rocky 4. I love Rocky 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, love them all. After that, 5 is okay. But Rocky 4 with Drago, avenging Apollo, the Russian, juiced out, that's my favorite. Lucky his wife threw him from the house and took their kids. Sad, I didn't know that. What is my favorite concert that I've been to? Oh, I've been to so many good concerts. In the 90s and early 2000s, that was my main thing that I did as a kid. I can tell you some really good concerts. So my first badass concert that I went to was Lollapalooza in '96, right? Wu-Tang Clan was the guest act. Rage Against the Machine was there. They were absolutely amazing. Rage Against the Machine was amazing. Then they came on and did a set with Wu-Tang. Crazy. Then Soundgarden played, outstanding. And then Metallica closed the show, and this is '96, when they're in the height of their popularity. It was just outstanding. That was an amazing concert. My very first Ozfest was awesome too. I went to see, this particular year, Black Sabbath was there, not Ozzy's band, which was cool. They sound a lot different. But Slipknot was there on a small stage. They had just come out. And I was such a big Slipknot fan already. That first album, they were amazing. I also got to see, at the Hammerstein Ballroom in New York, I got to see Mudvayne when they first came out, and they blew up after this. They were just a nobody band. And the Hammerstein Ballroom is a small ballroom. They were opening up, I believe, for Disturbed, actually. And man, I was backstage at that concert. I had a friend who knew the manager, and that was just incredible. My first Tool concert, oh my God, mind-blowing. And every time I've seen Tool has been mind-blowing. I've seen the Allman Brothers at the Beacon Theater, crazy light show, crazy, long sets. I've seen them at Jones Beach, tearing it up too. Honestly, I don't even really listen to Dave Matthews Band at all anymore, but I listened to a lot of Dave Matthews in high school, and me and all my friends went to see Dave Matthews Band play at the old Meadowlands, the giant stadium, and it was outstanding, man. They played for hours. It was just a great night. I've been to a lot of really good concerts. Slipknot's been amazing every time I've seen them. Korn has been really good every time I've seen them. Kid Rock is awesome in concert. Puts on a good show. Did you hear the story that in the 80s, Samir Bannout was married to Lee Labrada's sister, and according to rumors, beat the shit out of her? So Labrada asked Mike Quinn to deal with Samir, and I never heard that. That's a crazy story. Good morning, Edmund. Good morning. Good to see you on here. Thank you. I'm glad that the audio, I think we figured it out, guys. They just turned me all the way down. Thank you. I hope you guys learned something good in those workouts. The new Nintendo Switch looks very cool. Oh, okay. June 3rd. All this new stuff coming out. What else new is coming out? Listen, I'm popping back to Buried again with Ryan Reynolds. It wasn't. You wouldn't think a movie in a box could carry, could essentially keep attention for that long, but it did. It did. It was good. In Forrest Gump, when he's throwing up the peace sign to Jenny, leaving on the bus, he's also doing it in the downward position in the opposite hand, as above, so below. Oh man, Tom Hanks giving a nod to the dark. Scary, scary. To the Dark Lord. Scary, scary. I never noticed that. Sketchy, sketchy. Tom Hanks' son had a big role on Dexter, on last season of Dexter that I was watching. Colin Hanks, I think his name is. That's the only role of him you like, Bolshoi. Interesting. I love the Deadpool movies. Bonsai Runner, there you are. Good to see you. Nathan High says, my friend is an ICU nurse, and she witnesses death every day, and honestly, she has no soul. That's scary. You gotta watch out for those. I'll tell you, those nurses in the cancer ward were really, really just amazing, amazing people. I actually, over the years, when I was in my fuck around and find out years, I actually came across quite a few nurses. And maybe I was just lucky, but they were all great girls. He was good in Blade. Just Friends with Ryan Reynolds or How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. I actually like the movie Just Friends with Ryan Reynolds. I think it's a good movie. But How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, that's classic. That's classic. I mean, it's not even close. Black Phone 2 is coming out. Oh, I enjoyed Black Phone 1. I'm going to have to give a little, I think I'm going to do a little, I'll put a little thought into it on my top horror movies of 2024. I watched pretty much everything with exception of Terrifier 3 because the 1 and 2 are trash. I've had enough Terrifier. I watched pretty much everything else. A lot of good horror movies in 2024. It was cute, Chuck E. Cheese, I agree. Was Aaron in the same type of camp as me? For the most part, yeah. He was at Pensacola. The one thing about his camp is, from what I understand, it was a lot more lax with the restrictions there. Like they had a weight pile. They had really nice weights there. We had no weights where I was. They had supplements in there. I talked to some guys that said they even had steroids in there. Like, man, where I was, it was literally nothing getting through that place. No weights. They didn't even want you to work out with bags of sand. But what I did hear about my place is that our commissary was really good. You know, like I was able to buy 30 tunas every month, so you know that was a blessing for that aspect of it. I would have loved to have the weights in prison. I would have loved to have the weights in prison. That was hard, guys. Lightning started to go to shit after Batman Beginning started. What do you guys think about the bodybuilding show lights? I'm curious. Lighting on stage sucks also, even on WWE shows. It sucks. I remember 2000s WWE videos. Yeah, you're right, Bolshoi. You're right. Rocky 4 is your favorite too, B. Rogers? I love Rocky 4. Listen, I love all the Rocky movies. Clubber Lang was a great opponent. A great opponent in those earlier Rockies. And then obviously the brotherhood with him and Apollo was great. Dude, I find the boomer generation very condescending and know-it-alls. Know-it-alls, yeah. Know-it-alls. Listen, my mom can really be a know-it-all. I'll tell you, though, I thought the millennials were terrible, right? So I fall right at the end of Gen X where, you know, 80, 81, depending on who you talk to, where you start falling into that millennial group after. I thought the millennials were terrible. But honestly, these Gen Z kids, oh my God. I'll take millennials all day over these soft G's. When it comes to employees, ugh. Thank you, Bonsai Runner. I appreciate that. Give me those likes. I hit 3,000. I think I told you guys this yesterday. I hit 3,000 hours yesterday. So once I hit 4,000, I can start qualifying for monetization, which is nice. I never cared about that shit in the past, but I care about it now that I'm doing this. Baby Bash, Sugar Sugar, or PM Dawn set adrift on memory bliss. Wow. Sugar Sugar, how'd you get so fly? Honestly, PM Dawn was an incredible, that one album, I think it might have been the only album, back in the day, that was some real baby making music. PM Dawn for sure. Santa drift on memory bliss. I'm not sure what's up with the stage lighting. I know that whatever Jay Cutler was doing with his tan when he had the reddish thing was fire. Yeah, but listen, back then, shit was just way better. These new stuff now, it's just not as good. Me too, Mancini. Me too, buddy. Oh, you are, Mancini, friends with Mudbang? That's awesome. His wife works for Octane, okay. Hey, it's cool to have my nephews and goddaughter on the live. You really are like family now. Thank you, I'm glad. I have to select that this is not for children every time I do this. They ask me that, and I'm always like, nope. But I love the kids. I love the kids. Thank you, Brian, I love you too. Jones Beach, easily one of my favorite venues of all time. Yes, I love Jones Beach. Such a great atmosphere, great place. The sound is good. I had some good times up there. I remember MTV back in the day was all metal. Thank you, Brandon. Love you guys. Crash Into Me or David Gray Babylon. Man, I remember when my little brother was learning to play guitar and he was playing Crash Into Me for chicks, and I was like, look at this little mother. He's gonna wind up banging these little high school girls with this guitar. He's on to something. I'm going DMB on that one. Deliverance or I Spit on Your Grave movie. Deliverance is a good movie. The I Spit on Your Grave movies, guys, I can't do it. This came up yesterday. I've watched all three of them. And after watching the first one, I thought to myself, why would I bother watching the second one? And the second one, the rape scenes are so bad. I can handle anything, but I can't handle the rape scenes. They really, really make me feel just to the point where I want to throw up when I'm watching them. And I don't have a sensitive stomach. I can handle anything. Marissa's always like, you laugh at the scary movies. I don't know, it's just my reaction to most of the really scary stuff. It makes me laugh. But the rape scenes, I can't do the graphic rape scenes. They really make me uncomfortable. I do not like them. I do not like them. Brutal movies. Deliverance, though, maybe because it's a guy, I don't mind it as bad. We rewatched Lord of the Rings with the extended edition the other day. It's so much better than the normal experience. Interesting. Maybe I'll have to do that myself, Sway. Find Young Cannibals, She Drives Me Crazy. Or Spin Doctors, Two Princes. She drives me crazy. Ooh, ooh. That was a good one. Or Into Princess and If I Am. That's what I said now. Marry him or marry me. I'm the one you're looking, baby, can't you see? I ain't got no rent up in my tree, but I don't want to prince another heart to be. I'm still going Fine Young Cannibals. Chet Hanks, The White Rude Boy. Uh, Ronnie, good morning. An actual serious question, mixing it in. We love it. How do I push myself to diet and not eat out every day? Well, eating out these days has become brutally expensive. So just think about the money that goes in your pocket right there. Financially, it's just the better way to do it. You can still actually diet and eat out though. I've even, during contest prep, I've actually still managed to have somewhat of a, with the girl that I was dating back when I was competing, a social life. I would just, once a week, we would go out to dinner out at Outback, and I would just tell them, give me the 7-ounce filet, cook it plain, don't put any butter on it, bring me a salad with the oil and vinegar on the side. Boom. That's as clean as you can get right there, eating out. Now, I wouldn't trust a lot of places to not cook their stuff with butter or oils or whatever else they're doing, but it can be done. Now, that being said, man, people thrive in structure. It's been studied. This is why the military is all structure-based. This is why prison is structure-based. So getting in a routine of just prepping all your meals and getting into that structure, you'll see the results just start to come because you're able to gauge everything that you're doing and make the changes that are necessary to thrive. So I would really break it down into what you see with your body. Because once you're in the right routine and you're eating the right way and you see those results coming, you're not going to want to go off of it. It's harder to go off of it, actually. Do I think watching movies and TV series during the holidays is the biggest waste of time? As opposed to what else would we be doing? Shopping for gifts, going out to eat, I don't know. I think there's a lot of things that are time consuming during the holidays, especially when the holidays fall during the week. Tales from the Crypt, or Are You Afraid of the Dark? Tales from the Crypt, for sure. They're both a little juvenile. Never been to the Meadowlands, usually a Chance or Mid-Hudson Civic Center in Poughkeepsie. Good places for shows. Also went to Nassau Coliseum in Unionville to see Green Day. How was Green Day? I'm not a Green Day fan. How are them? Talk about woke people. Chuck E. Cheese. Tell us about that experience. They were, I would say they had a good first album. They, 2002, or Gothica, 2003. They, good movie. The training montage in Rocky IV is definitely the best. With Hearts on Fire playing, I agree. I agree. Brianna Rogers, tell us about Gen Z. A little bit. Give it to us. Mancini, you're 91. I'm 81. February 6th, 1981. Right in the beginning of 81. Sleepwalkers, 92, or Silver Bullet. Silver Bullet, I'm going with because I've just watched it 10,000 times. When I was a kid, I loved that movie. Mancini says Millennials is my jam. The Gen Z have more drama than anything. I just think that people have gotten a lot softer. Brooklyn Beach or Jersey Shore? I love Jersey Shore. Definitely Jersey Shore. I will tell you though, I really like Orchard Park up in the Bronx. I used to go to Orchard Park all the time. You're gonna get a nice collection of Spanish music, dueling Spanish music, Latin music flavor at Orchard Park. But I love Jersey Shore. Seaside, Wildwood. I grew up down there. Did anyone ever say I resemble Ronnie from the Jersey Shore? Too many times. Too many times. Even when I went to the dentist a couple weeks ago, I went by myself, and I've been in there with Marissa before. The lady behind the counter said, oh, where's JWoww today? And I was like, very funny. She's like, sorry, but you know, you guys look like Jersey Shore. You look like Ronnie. I'm like, I get it. Yes, I've gotten it for years. I wish that I looked like somebody cooler and better looking. I wish that people were like, man, you look just like Leonardo DiCaprio. I'll take that all day. You look just like Jake Gyllenhaal. Give me some of that. No, I look like fucking, excuse my language, Ronnie from Jersey Shore. Now, Marissa, the sweetheart that she is, she was like, well, he's the best looking one on Jersey Shore. I'm like, thanks, babe. He's the best of the douchebags. Ronnie the limo driver, JD. Ronnie the limo driver, definitely. Okay, New World Muscle, good to see you on here. I'm gonna go a whole hour today. Screw it, why not? I don't have a Ricardo today. I got a bunch of stuff to do after this. Marilyn Manson, Rocket's dad, or Ram Zombie. Never gonna stop, yeah, never gonna stop. Scream if you want it. I'm going Rob Zombie on that one. I actually saw Rob Zombie live. He puts on a good show. Have you seen Linkin Park performance with a new chick instead of Chester? Very strange. It's very strange to me. I'm not feeling it. How strong was Sammy? He seemed impressively strong. Yes, he was very strong. He did pretty well keeping up with Keon when I trained them together, and Keon is a beast. Keon is a beast, so he was a strong little dude for sure. Very good stamina too. And one thing about Sammy reminded me so much of Guy Cisternino in the gym, where he gets very angry and in a crazy little zone. And Guy was the same way. It was actually funny because I paired them up for a workout, and Sammy was fired up. You know, it was a big moment for him. He kind of talked a little shit, and Guy just buried him. I was like, oh, shouldn't talk shit to Guy. Guy's gonna turn this into a battle now. And he was like, man, Sammy at one point was like, he's really freaking strong. I'm like, he is. He's really strong. But yeah, Sammy's just strong for sure. Tanya Miller. Good morning, good morning. Bullshit Kush says, whenever I hear work-life balance from these millenniums or Z generation I interview, I want to send them to the toilets. Listen, I had a guy who told me, so part of this is my fault, right? I'm going to speak about Blackstone Labs for a minute. I'm not allowed to work there until I finish probation. I'm speaking on the past. Don't anybody try to get me in trouble for this. I'm just speaking in the past, right? So I had this employee, this young man, who was supposed to be good at what he did. Now, I guess I had been spoiled up to this point where I had a lot of employees that were very similar to me. I could call them at 11 o'clock at night. We got an emergency. Boom, boom, boom. That's just the way it is. When you're running a business, when you're thriving, you need people like that. And this isn't some big corporate monster. You know, we had 40 employees at our biggest. And there was a lot of moving parts, but still, that's pretty small, right? So I had a kid where I had an assignment for him to do that I expected done by the weekend, and it wasn't quite done. So I was trying to get a hold of him all weekend. And I couldn't get a hold of this guy. I was like, where's my project? Where's my project? Where's my product? And Monday comes rolling around. He comes strolling in. He's like, oh, I'll finish it today. I'm like, where were you this weekend? He straight up looked at me and he was like, well, I don't work weekends. No, I work Monday through Friday. We never discussed me working weekends. I said, listen, bro, when you work for me, you work every day. You work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And guess what? A lot of those days, you're not going to do shit. You're going to be cruising. But sometimes, if I need something on the weekend, I expect it done. And I pay you guys all real well. And he looked at me like I was fucking crazy. So I tried to, like, nurture this relationship with him. And instead, he gathered the other little guys in his group that were in his age group that thought he was a good guy to rally against for some reason. And they all came to me. They bombarded me one day late, asking for raises at a time when we were not in position to do that. So instead, he wound up pretty much getting everybody fired. And there was one guy that they went to who's still a very, very important part of Blackstone, Billy Gagliardo, that said, this is not going to go well for you guys. Don't do it. Don't go in there and go at him like that. They should have listened. When was the last time I visited Venice Beach? It's been years. I think I've been out there with Marissa, definitely, so maybe 5-6 years, but it's been a while. Okay, Chuck E. Cheese, appreciate the honesty. I don't know, Melanie. Listen, JWoww is definitely hot, for sure. I met Snooki back in the day. Little Snooki before she was famous. She was trying to get a little bit of the Braun master back when I was cool. No offense, you look like Mickey Rourke in the end of the 80s. I think in the end of the 80s was when he still was decent looking, actually. So I guess, thank you, Bolshoi, I'll take that. I would prefer to not look like the wrestler version of Mickey Rourke. Badabuco, thank you. I appreciate the way that this has turned into a little bit of a compliment party for me. I like that, thank you. People think you look like Ronnie because of your fist pump. Don't you know, pump it up. Gen Z is weak, unstable, and it seems that the guys don't want to work hard anymore. It seems correct. And I don't expect, listen, it's as a young person these days, as a young guy, how are you going to pull one of these girls that's making bank on OnlyFans, chilling out, flicking her bean on OnlyFans, and you're not willing to go out and work more than 40 hours a week? Good luck. Now, as a lady, flicking your bean on OnlyFans, listen, I support the hustle, but how are you gonna find a guy that's okay with that? It's a weird place to be right now because it's become so mainstream. So you got lazy guys, girls that are selling themselves sexually. It's a tough environment as far as, creating the next generation. Moby Lift Me Up or Chemical Brothers. Hey boy, hey girl. Ooh, Chemical Brothers for show. Matt Passmore looks more. Who's Matt Passmore, Mancini? PJ's a big Shane Diesel fan. Of course I am. Who doesn't love Shane Diesel? You know those old school scenes when Shane Diesel, when he wanted the girls to call him the N-word? I know you guys know the ones I'm talking about. Gen Z also lost the concept of love. Guys don't want to settle down. I see that also, Brianna, but I also see girls out there bragging about what is the term they use now? What's their body count? Listen, when I was on the dating scene, every single girl that I ever met only had sex with 3 guys if that question came out. Now, obviously, that's a lie. Obviously, it couldn't have just been that they all only had sex with 3 guys, but that was like the going number. You didn't really talk about that shit. Now, it's just a regular conversation piece. A quality guy that was raised the right way is not gonna want to settle down with that. Bolshoi Kush, him, right here in my arms, or Nightwash, Nemo. Oh, wow. Him, right here in my arms, good one. Good points though, guys. I appreciate this last part of the conversation. Honestly, the guys nowadays, we had a Q&A recently where somebody said, PJ, what are some things that set off your gaydar? Because back when it wasn't okay to be out in the open about being gay, there were signals that you would look for in the 90s. Now everybody is gay, but here's the thing. These young men in their 20s are so beta and soft and gay that I can't even tell half the time anymore. I mean, these guys are soft nowadays. So as a woman, I can't imagine like settling down with one of these soft ass guys. Bolshoi, come on. We know it, right? Everybody's Shane Diesel fans. Don't lie. Brianna, depending on how quick you guys put up. Guys will decide on that. That is a big factor. That is a big factor. Badabuco, he was strong. You know, I think people mature at different rates also. I think it's changing quite a bit now. I think the number that I see has gone up quite a bit. They used to say, don't get married until you're at least 25. 25 is, man, I don't think people should get married before 30 anymore. And now I look back to myself at 30 and I was a young man still at 30. I thought I was grown. But nowadays, man, it's just a different, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the parenting. I don't know if social media killed everything. There's a lot of benefit to it, of course. There's a lot of ways of staying in communication and having fun and of course, making money. But I think it killed a lot of the positive things about the culture. You know, when I was young, you had to go out and take a girl out and show her why she should give you a second date. You had to show her why there should be more. And don't get me wrong, you still found the easy girls back then. But the quality ones, you had to put that work in. And you couldn't slide around into different girls' DMs. We didn't have that option. And it's not that I'm that old, but I'm going to be 44 soon. Shit was different 20 years ago, 25 years ago. So it's a much, much different world. I don't know. 10 Things I Hate About You or 51st Kiss with Adam Sandler. Definitely 10 Things I Hate About You. I'm going to power through these last ones since I hit an hour already. I appreciate that. Yes, you can't go full 304. When you go back to the business, how do you anticipate the industry has changed and how it impacts your team? It's changed a lot. It's very saturated with competition right now, which is interesting. There's a lot of similar stuff being sold and talked around. Again, though, I think the biggest aspect now in today's world is the influencers and who you have behind your product. So I'll have to reestablish myself in that position. Flicking her bean, that line in Deadpool versus Wolverine was like, what do you say? You know, that's a classic one. Come on now. Matt Passmore is from Jigsaw. Oh, I think I know who you're talking about. I think I know what you're talking about. You know I'm right, Brianna. Let's see. I think it's rebellious response against the conditioning of our generation had against women being promiscuous and the double standard of men not being demonized the same, always an overcorrection. Possibly. That makes a lot of sense. What would be your reasoning of the guys becoming so weak and lacking masculinity now? That was the red posing trunk era. Your mind is in the right place, Kevin. Listen, guys, that was a good one today. I appreciate you guys coming in here. Tanya Miller said, funny enough, I actually got bullied for being a virgin in the 19th grade. Very weird. Tanya, what, if you don't mind sharing your age with us, what year was that? I'll tell you guys, I'm going to give you guys one funny story before I roll up out of here, okay? When I was a senior in high school, I was still a virgin because I was in love with this girl, Megan Sullivan, and I was saving myself for her. And so in the 90s, things were obviously different than they were now, but I had actually turned down, I had like some older girls that were coming back from college to parties, that were trying to hook up with me, and I would do everything but I just wouldn't have sex. I was a pussy, I will admit it. So my mom, one day, my mom called me into her bedroom, and I have a sister that's only a year younger than me, and then another sister that's a couple years younger than her, so we're all close. So all the girls talk, right? Quiet. My mom asked me, she wanted me to tell her, she said, it's okay if you want to come out with this. I love you and support you no matter what. If you have something you want to tell me. And she basically was asking me if I was gay. And once I figured it out, I got so upset. I was like, I'm not gay. What the fuck, Mom? And she was like, well, I've just heard that you're turning girls down for sex and that you won't have sex, and it's okay. I love you. I support you no matter what. And I was like, I'm saving myself for my one love. And she was like, that's not normal. And she was right. Unfortunately, that girl broke up with me at the prom. At the senior prom, broke up with me. And I wasted all that time. Then I went and hooked up with another chick on prom night. And shortly after that, I just finally started having sex when I was 19. But I was a late bloomer, so it's a much different world. My husband's family thought he was gay too because he was a virgin and told me, listen, some guys care about that stuff, you know, some girls, some guys, you know, back then it was a more of a thing to hold on to that. I don't know, it seems times have changed. That's a funny story though. And see, Tanya Miller, we got that in common. You guys, I appreciate you guys for being on here. Thank you, Badabuko, I appreciate that. I love doing this with you guys. It's my favorite part of my day, with exception to when I am with Marissa the rest of the time. That's also my favorite part of the day. But I love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Thank you, B. Rogers. Good one today. Don't be afraid to hold on to that virginity. God bless you all. I love you guys. Peace out. Bye.